The P38 officially replaced the German Luger in 1940, April 26th, and became Germany's standard sidearm. While the Luger was admired around the world for the way it appeared, its design, the balance when it was in the hand, the way it pointed, the high degree of craftsmanship, it was functionally outdated well before World War II. The bolt operation with the toggle was difficult. It had an exposed set of finely machined parts which were vulnerable to getting clogged up by the battlefield grit and grime. It had a poor trigger and was very expensive and time-consuming to build. It required almost 800 machining operations, as well as a handful of man-hours afterwards to inspect and fit and finish the parts. Most of the parts started out as solid billet or forgings, and up to 75% of the material, that material had to be machined away to make the parts. It was joked that the main product in Luger manufacture were steel chips with pistols as a byproduct. The Walther P38, on the other hand, could be made cheaper and in about half the time. On top of that, it was an advanced design, and many of the features on today's firearms started with the P38. It was either double or single action in operation. It was easy to disassemble. It had a straightforward design. It had a well-positioned safety with a decocker, etc. It withstood the dirt, abuse, lack of maintenance much better than the Luger. And if it had any shortcomings, I might point to the small 8-round magazine and the rather tedious heel release. The P38 is an excellent pistol to collect. From 1939 to 1945, there were over 1 million made by 3 manufacturers, Walther, Mauser, and Spreework. As the war drug on and production progressed, it went through some design changes, minor design changes. Also with the finish, various shortcuts were introduced to speed up the production. So here are a couple of P38s from my World War II collection. Both are made by Walther. This one was made the first part of January 1942 and still has the characteristics of guns made in 1941. Walther made approximately 120,000 in 1942, just about 10,000 per month. So this particular one has no letter suffix to the serial number, meaning the gun was made in January. It's number 1459 of 10,000. So it's probably made the very first week in January. After the first 10,000, the numbering would have started over again with the suffix A, and then the third 10,000, the suffix B, etc. The pistol comes with an early AC42 magazine, which is correct for the time period of the pistol's manufacture. It's serial numbered, but not serial numbered to the gun. So the gun is serial number 1459. The magazine is number 3069. So it was probably made to a gun in several days later, about 1,610 pistols apart. This other one was made about 2 years and 5 months later in May of 1944, serial number 3923E. So my father was an infantry platoon leader in the 102nd Infantry Division and captured this pistol in the fight across Germany from November 1944 until May of 1945. So it left the extreme lower panhandle of Holland at that time, crossed the Siegfried Line and fought their way across Germany to the north and to the east and to the Elbe River just opposite Berlin, where they waited for the Russians. And the Russians in late April, early May drove masses of civilians and surrendering soldiers into the Allied lines. But anyway, during that period, my dad captured this pistol with all of its accessories during that time. So the complete rig has remained intact since the day he got it. My dad gave it to me in the early 70s, so there is a chain of custody from the moment it was captured till now. Both guns are mechanically in great shape. On the outside, the older gun has some pitting. Looks like where it touched the holster, it's pitted, which might mean that during some cold, wet Russian winter, the gun was kept in a wet holster, perhaps. I don't know. Other than that, the exterior is fine. Very odd, though, is that the front strap of the pistol is pristine, which is one of the first places to go with corrosion. And it comes from, the sweat and oils and acids of handling, and it corrodes that front strap. Now, if you look over here on the 44 gun, the only pitting is on the front strap. So I'm not sure what's going on there unless the older P38 was pulled out of its holster and used while wearing gloves. I guess that's possible. When you compare the fit and finish of the two guns, it looks like quite a bit more care was taken with the 42 gun. The most obvious indication that I see is to look at the fit of the barrel to the slide and to the frame, and you can see there's quite a bit more play in the 44 gun than the 42 gun. So I want to take a look at some other differences between the two guns which occurred in the 2.5 years between the first gun and the second gun when they were built.